Assalamu alaikum. There is risk of Putin using nuclear weapon, Sullivan. Written by Jalil Afridi. Washington, D.C., United States National Security Advisor, Jack Sullivan stated that there is a risk that Russian President Vladimir Putin may use a nuclear weapon during its ongoing war with Ukraine and that, "We are taking this threat very seriously." He further said that U.S. intelligence along with its allies are keeping a watch on such moves by Moscow. While speaking to the journalists at the White House, Jack Sullivan stated that President Biden strongly condemns the Russian annexation of parts of Ukraine and termed the referendum conducted by Russia as sham and on a gunpoint. Sullivan said that the U.S. is giving a coordinated response along with its allies to the Russian aggression, who is bent upon taking away the independence and sovereignty of Ukraine. He said that the U.S. will continue to help Ukraine, and in this regard a bill has been sent to Congress for additional $12 billion for Ukraine. Sullivan assured that U.S. will continue with its supply of weapons and strengthening of the Ukrainian army. Sullivan also hinted at United Nations Security Council resolution next week which will condemn the annexation by Russia. When asked about the recent Nord Stream gas pipeline explosion, Sullivan said that investigations are underway in this regard. He refuted the question that any European ally could be involved in this activity, but he did agree that very few countries were capable of conducting such attack, so deep underwater. When asked about benefit of the recent sanctions by the United States on Russia, Sullivan added that its aim is to weaken the Russian military strength. When asked about the drones which were recently provided by Iran to Russia, Mr. Sullivan said that measures in the shape of sanctions will be enforced on Iran so that in future they are not capable of building such drones. Meanwhile, according to the editorial of the Frontier Post, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has warned that Russia's plan to annex 4 Ukrainian regions would mark a dangerous escalation in the war in Ukraine that would jeopardize the prospects for peace. According to him, any decision to proceed with the annexation of Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia regions of Ukraine would have no legal value and deserves condemnation. Guterres said that Russia, being one of 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council, has a responsibility to uphold the UN Charter, which prohibits the threat or use of force and champions the principle of sovereignty and territorial integrity. The international community has condemned the Russian-sponsored referendum and the forced annexure of Ukraine's territories by the Kremlin. In fact, Putin failed to conquer the entire Ukraine, therefore, it started seizing parts of the neighboring state to inflict maximum damage on competing nation. Interestingly, weeks before the annexure of southeastern Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed those regions as part of its country and vowed to use nuclear weapons if the need arises. On the other hand, Kiev categorically rejected the forced annexure of its land and promised to punish traitors, and launched a counteroffensive to regain its territories from the enemy. The irresponsible behavior of powerful nations is causing serious challenges to international peace and stability. Hence, the global community must bring pivotal reforms, remove elite clubs from the UN and promote equal status for all member states if they don't intend to repeat the history of the League of Nations.